Kaptırıyor topu. Ali Tanrı doğru çok süratli. Ali orta yapacak. Sert orta. Sert orta.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Maestro Game production. Welcome back to Football Manager, and of course, welcome to Football Manager 2021. Now, little disclaimer down there, as you'll see, it is the beta version of the game. Don't worry, future people, though, if you are watching this after the release of the full game, well, this is going to be rolling into the full version. So, the series shouldn't be affected too much. We are, of course, here in Bursa, playing as the wonderful Bursaspor, who play in the second tier of the Turkish League. Now, as you can see, their stadium has quite an awkward name to pronounce. I'm not even going to try and attempt to pronounce that. I am simply going to use its nickname, which, of course, is the Thur Arena. So, Bursaspor have hired Tomlinson. Breaking news, of course. Bursaspor have today confirmed the appointment of Matthew Tomlinson as the club's new manager. Eyebrows have been raised in the world of football at the appointment of the 26-year-old, who has recently spent time away from club football. We know that's not quite true. Previously in Football Manager 2020, we managed several teams, but he's sure to face plenty of questions when he faces the media for the first time at Bursa Timsa Arena. I'm not going to try and say that last bit. Tomlinson has put pen to paper on a 2-year deal worth $1.4 thousand per week. He replaces previous manager Mustafa Air. Now, as you will have seen from the introduction, we are getting snappy. That is because our stadium, in fact, is shaped like a crocodile. We are the crocodiles. And, well, to add to that flavour, we are only hiring players who have 15 aggression and above. So we are going to be definitely getting very snappy. Now, players, of course, who are currently at the club, we're going to allow them to stay if they are below that threshold. But every new addition has to be above the 15 threshold. If I found the 15 thresholds a little bit high, might drop it down to about 12. But I think 15 sounds like a fun little number to work with, and hopefully we can acquire some players above that. So let's have a little look at the team. I'm, of course, going to move into position because I'm miles away from my usual seated position, moving out so you could see where it says it's the beta version. So let's move on to the next section. We are a 3-star reputation team. We are predicted to finish 6th in the second tier. 42,985 capacity stadium built in 2015. Now, we have a technical director. We don't have an assistant, so I'm going to have to hire an assistant at some point. We have excellent training facilities, excellent youth facilities, and basic youth recruitment network. We are too big for this league, quite frankly. Unfortunately, though, we are down here with our massive stadium and great facilities. So, founded in 1963. You probably got that from the introduction just looking at the badge, though. Bursaspor are a professional Turkish club currently playing in the Turkish 1 League. Like I said, it's the second tier. Bursaspor finished 6th in the league in the 1 League last season. The club play their home games at the ridiculous named stadium, which I'm not going to try and pronounce. So, as you already know, that is the stadium and possesses excellent training facilities and youth facilities. The club training network is the Ozluk Tesilleri. I probably completely butchered that, but that's what we are going for. The Bursaspor youth team plays at the, wait for me to butcher this one, Vakikoy Tesilleri. The club also has good academy coaching and basic youth recruitment network. The club is affectionately known as Timsala, or the Crocodiles, I believe is the other nickname. So, the club enjoyed probably their best spell of success during the 2010s, although now enduring a 10-year barren spell, have not won a competition since 2010. We are going to change that, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to win the league. We're going to get promoted, and we are going to win the Turkish Super League, because we are the best team in Turkey, as far as I'm concerned. That is what we are. Now, Timsah still have a history of which they can be justly proud. Bursaspor have won the Turkish top division for the only time in 2010, won the Turkish Cup in 1986 and finished second best 5 further times, won the Turkish second tier for the only time in 2006 and runners-up once, and finished runners-up in the Turkish Super Cup in 86, 2010 and 2015. So what does our lineup look like even? So 4-2-3-1. The viewers from a while back are pretty used to me using said formation, so that is going to be no surprise seeing me using a 4-2-3-1. I might spice things up just because I'm a little bored of using the same strategy over and over. It's a bit dull going for the same tactics over and over. I mean, it works, but we want to have a little bit of fun, so I might mix it up. Who knows? We have a few different interesting names for me to try and pronounce as well. We also have Recep Ali, some easier names to pronounce. We have Ozer, we have Kunait. Now, I don't know if that's just on my end or if it's on the recording end, but my mic just did something really interesting there and went into one side of my earphones. So if that happened in the video, I apologise for that. Now, as you can see, a bunch of loan obligations on loan out. That's quite useful because we can manage to bring these players back if we need them. I'm not going to click on them on here. We shall look at them further on the team page. Now, we are expected to play entertaining football. We always try and play entertaining football around here, ladies and gents. Develop players using the youth recruitment network. That's only favoured, so that's not too bad. We will try and bring players up if they can manage to be at the required ability, but if not, then we aren't going to use them. Quite simple. Work within the wage budget. That is a definite requirement and one we always manage to achieve. Now, in terms of the current league, they want us to reach the playoffs. They want us to reach the 5th round of the Turkish Cup and by the next season win promotion. After that, weirdly, I don't know how we win promotion in the second season and then we look to build on promotion. Okay, I was going to say, I read that as look to gain promotion. I don't know. My brain, it's not switched on today, ladies and gents. Probably not the greatest idea to be recording a video while my brain is not quite switched on, but I am. Now, as you can see, I've got all these to do. So you know what? I'm not interested in any of them, but I want to get them all out of the way. So I'm going to tell them to send them all if it's going to let me. Thank you, game. Now, I have got quite a bit of stuff loaded. I've got every player from the top clubs in every region, quite a few different leagues. They're all on view only, admittedly, but it is quite hard for it to deal with all that. So I'm currently running on 2-star performance. Every person in Turkey is loaded though, and every person in England. Well, every English player and every Turkish player within the database. Now, schedule all of these. Arrange an inter-friendly. No, we don't want an inter-friendly. Send advice report. We want that. Schedule a press conference to meet the media. I guess we'll do that, but I don't particularly want to do it. It's very much a default thing to do. Now, as you can see, this is what the screen looks like. I'm honestly less of a fan of this purple. I don't know. It's just too dark for me. It's a bit gloomy. So I'm going to have a little look at the alternatives in the preferences. I'm not going to bore you with that. I'll go through all the introduction stuff. Have a little look at our squad when we come back, and let's see if we can acquire some players before our first game. Now, our game in today's episode, what is that? Well, we have a bunch of friendlies. I'm going to get through the friendlies. You don't want to sit through a friendly. So what we're going to do is kick off with our first home game of the season, unless, of course, we have random cup games that sprout up beforehand. So we are going to verse Bursaspor in our first game in today's episode. So I'll see you back for that, back for some other antics, including, of course, looking at players in just a second. Right, future people, or as I am branding you, at least for today's episode, you are the future people. We haven't made much progress. I've gone through all the introductory screens. As you can see, I've even made an offer for one staff manager. But before I do, I'm going to sort out our wage budget. As you can see, we are using Turkish lira. Now, that's not through my own personal preference. My own personal preference, of course, is to use the UK pound sterling. But I wanted to make it a little bit more fitting. We're in Turkey, why not use the Turkish lira? So basically, if you want to convert this back into British pounds and you are like me, just move it back a bit. So where we have 20 million as our overall budget, it is actually only 2. So, as you can see, we do have that one staff member, as I said, but I want to move my budget. I want to get in some better staff members, and in order to do that, we do need to tweak the budget. Because, as you can see, we are currently spending all of our wage budgets, and that is our committed. Now, we do need to sort out this 20% transfer revenue going forward. That is not a good thing. I'm going to pester the board about that. Hopefully, we can get that resolved now. If not, well, hopefully it's something we can sort in the future. Now, as you can see, we've got a transfer budget of 11.9 million lira, or 1.19 million pounds. So, not a great budget. It's a little bit hard for us to work with, but we have a decent squad, at least a decent squad for the league we are in. So, first of all, let's do as I said, where I'm making the budget adjustment. So I don't think we've got enough money to really be buying players. So what we're going to do is just drop it all into wage budget, or as much as it will allow. We do have to keep 470,000 roughly in the bank, or 4.7 million in terms of lira. You know what? I'm going to start speaking in terms of lira. That's the currency we're using, so that is what I'm going to speak. I'm going to stop mentally converting it to pounds. That makes things more difficult. Now, our squad, as you can see, I have fixed the overview. Now, the default overview, of course, is the general information. This is what you get when you load up the game. But this is our custom view. It's called Getting Snappy. Now, if anyone wants me to put this on the workshop, I will happily do so. But that is basically down to you, ladies and gents. If you want it, you can have it. If you don't, then I will use it myself. As you can see, I've created an aggression category, and well, we only have one guy who's on 15, so that 15 number I might have to move down a little bit. I'm 50-50. I kind of want to make sure they are all 15 or above, because that will make us really aggressive, and we will definitely be getting snappy. But I think 13 seems a more reasonable number, so if I'm struggling to get players in at 15, like I said previous, I'll move it down, but I'm not going any lower than 13. 13 is our bottom line. Any lower than that, and it's not really worth doing. So that is that. As you can see, we have 3 goalkeepers. We are playing the minimum amount of players. As you can see, Turkish First League, we are required to have 11 players, and I believe we only have 11 players. No, I was told that. 3, 6, 9. Yeah, we've definitely got more than the 11 players. I don't think we've maxed out our squad. I think we have the bare minimum. We've probably got like 21 players in our overall squad. So, as you can see, our best players at the moment are these guys. Now, we have Ackman. Ackman, otherwise known as Ali Ackman, is 18 years old. Nice youngster to have. 4-star current ability, can potentially go up to 5-star. He's a poacher, but we're going to be using him as a lone striker. So he's probably going to be either an advanced forward or a deep line forward. Now, I'm liking this rating system, these star ratings for each positional role. Much nicer than the whole colour coordinated thing they had previously, and it is very nice to see. Now, as you can see, he only scored 2 goals last season. Not the greatest goal scorer. Hopefully he can pick up his form going into this one. So that is our lone striker. We then have Burak Kapakak. Now, Burak Kapakak, something very similar to what I just pronounced. He is our right-hand-sided midfielder. He's a winger. He's not bad as an inverted or an advanced playmaker, but we're going to use him as a sportive winger. Now, let's just have a little look how that... Okay, so attacking winger, he's just as good as an attacking as a sportive. So, what do we want? I think the supportive is probably marginally better. We're swapping out flair and anticipation, which are 13 and 10 on attacking, for 12 on stamina, 14 on work rate. So yes, we want him in a supportive role. Now, I'm not sure if I've set this as supportive or not. So let's have a little look. We did in fact make it sportive. So this is my imported 4231 that I was using on the previous game. I've basically changed the name up as I've imported it in. So mentality is of course attacking. These are our positional information, our in transition and our out of possession. So if you want to steal the tactic, feel free to copy it from there. And again, I can always put it onto the workshop if people really require it. So let's go back. We then have Kermack. Now, am I knocking his end? No, I'm not knocking the end of his name off. We're all good. I've managed to put this in the right spot. So Uza. Oza is... It's saying we should be using him on the left side. We are not. We are in fact going to use him as a central midfielder. As you can see, he's good at cam, but we have another guy who is good at cam. So this guy is going to drop to central midfield. Now, it's saying we should use him as a playmaker or a Mazzala. So he shall take over the playmaking role. So that is our playmaker. I believe the playmaker's on the right-hand side on this. Yes, the line playmaker on the right-hand side. We've got our ball-winning midfielder on the left. Now, we have Ozcan as the next player. He's our left-sided midfielder. Prefers to play at normal midfield left, but we're going to use him as an attacking midfield left. And we're probably going to put him on inside forward. We're not going to use the inverted winger. We are going inside forward. So are we going supporting or attacking? Attacking is... There's not a whole difference. It's just a case of removing the vision and putting a bit more clarity on the finishing. His finishing ain't great, so we should probably just go with a more supportive role. So we're going to do that. We'll go more supportive with him. That does mean we have two supportive players though, so maybe I don't know. I really don't know. Attacking is what our default... You know, we're sticking with attacking. I know it's not the better one of the two in this situation, but that is what we are going for. So this is our central attacking mid. It is Aydin. Now, Aydin, he's a solid player. 3.5 star, 3.5 star potential. He isn't going to get much better. He isn't going to get much worse, though. He's going to be playing as a normal attacking mid on spot. 3.5 stars, solid at that. So, no need to worry about that. Now, I've not looked at our defense. I've not looked at our goalkeeper. This is where it's going to get interesting. So, as you can see, we have 3 stars for all of these. These are the only players I really had a little peek at. So, 3 star. Now, these 3 are the ones with potential. So, these are the ones we should probably be looking to get in. Now, he is a defensive mid, although he's a much better ball-playing defender. So, we're going to play him as a ball-playing defender. Now, I believe our ball-playing defender is on the right-hand side. We shall just double-check that one quickly. Ball-playing defender, that is indeed. Now, we have our defensive mid. I don't think we have a spot for him in... Is a central mid. That works. Central mid works. Now, box to box is probably what we'll have to do with him. Maybe we'll put him... I think we'll just put him on a normal central midfield role, you know. Supportive, central midfielder role. He can solidly do that. His decision making is a little bit questionable. In fact, defensive central midfielder? Yeah, that kind of works. His positioning's a bit out of place for that though. So we'll put him on supportive. We'll move him to supportive. This is going to be a simple supportive central midfield role. I could have done him on that screen, but it does not matter in the slightest. So we shall do that. Now, Cos, he's 3 star, 3 star. Now, you're 3 star, 3 star. He is a left back, so we don't really need to mess about with our 25-year-old Turkish left back. Now, does he want to be a wing back? Interesting. An attacking wing back. Not sure if we're going to be using wing backs so much, at least as attacking. Supportive might be the way to go. So, let's get him into the lineup. In fact, let's have a little look at him as a... Okay, that's not the guy we want. And I put him on the opposite side to where he likes to be. So, Cos. Let's have a little look at Cos first. Cos, 3 star, 3 star potential, 27-year-old rather than the 25-year-old we was looking at. He is a full-back, although wing-back is not too bad at. He probably prefers to just sit back. So, I think what we do with him is maybe defensive wing-back. How do you like that, my friend? Off the ball. Can you cope with being supportive? If you can cope with it, we can use it. We're going to use it. He's off the ball. He's not quite there. He's a little off the ball with his off the ball, but we shall go with that. Now, the guy we meant to have a look at was Atasaya. Now, Atasaya, the left back, he likes to be an attacking, but I'd rather him sit on supportive. And that works quite well. So we drop his flair. His flair isn't anything to shout about. So I don't think we're losing a whole lot. I don't quite know how we're dropping to 2.5 star, to be honest, because it's all of the same attributes other than flair, which we are dropping. We're just meaning that he does no flair and technical even drops a little bit. So I don't know. I really don't know how that works in that, but that is that. So we then have our second central defender, I guess, which will be Ackman. Now, Ackman, he is a stopper. We do not like stoppers around here, ladies and gents. I hate using them. I use normal defensive central defenders. I don't remember the last time I used a stopper, at least intentionally. The only times I've really used a stopper is probably when we've done our journeyman-like saves and we've just been stuck with a player who just likes to be a stopper. Nothing more. So we are going to use Ackman in a normal central defensive role. He can slide in there. We then get into our fringe players. As you can see, we've got our stars. Our regular starters managed to make my team, so that is not too bad. We have quite a few breakthrough players. Now, goalkeeping options. What do we have in terms of goalkeeping options? We have these three. These two suck. He ain't the greatest player in the world, but he's 2.5 stars. He's got a bit of potential. So, Dadak Deniz is going to be our starting goalkeeper. He likes to be a sweeper keeper. That is nice to see. Do we really need a sweeper though? Do we need a sweeper? That is the question. Sweeper keeper attack is what my default is. He's a sweeper keeper defensive now. How do you feel about being a sweeper keeper on attack? He doesn't mind it too much. A little bit of less eccentricness, but he can do a job. So we shall move him in to that goalkeeping role. Now, the backup, I think that's pretty well settled as Yedekuz. Now, Yedekuz, I don't know how I got the cuz. Kull. Yedekuz is going to be our backup goalkeeper. He's our aggressive goalkeeper. And of course, our third string is Aiden. Now, I'm going to have a look at some of the youngsters. We might bring some youngsters up, but for now, using what is currently in the starting team, this is what we are going with. So we should probably now, since we're doing the bench, narrow this down. We're going to filter it. So players by defense. We only have 2 defenders to choose from. Now, how many can we use in the league? That is the main question. Maximum of 6 foreigners. This 10-man bench. Interesting. That is interesting. So I am probably going to try and fill this 10-man bench out. I think I want to get another defender. I think what we want is you there, you there. We have a central defender, left defender, right defender. We then fill out the rest of the squad as normal. So we have a player for every position other than a second central defender. That way we can basically cover every position. So we shall look to bring a right defender in, if not bring one up from the youth system. Midfielders, we are then going to have a look at central midfielders. Now, who do we have? We have Cause. He likes to be a central midfielder because likes to be a central midfielder. Now, we have a ball-winning defender on defense. Ooh, he might be a good option for that second central midfielder. Although he's not ideally placed in there, he does love the role. He loves the role. Let's have a little look at the guy we are currently using in that role. So it is Agun. He's a good player. He's a very good player. Do I really want to drop Agun? Probably not. Although he's on $2,000 a week. Now, how does that go relative to some of our other wages? It's not a lot. $30,000 a week is where we are looking for the big amount, so it's not on a lot. He's a decent player. Really don't want to drop him. If he was on high wage, probably sell him, gets this guy, move him up into where he likes to play. So, enough rambling. We want you as our number 5, you as our number 6, and let's have a little look. He's the ball winning one in number 6, and he just likes to be a central midfielder. So, in fact, as pedantic as I am, we're going to have it that way around, because I like to have the numbers in the order that they are on here, i.e. S6 replaces the left hand side, S5 replaces the right hand side in an ideal situation. Now we are going to look at some attacking midfielders. So central attacking mid, we only have one option. So that is going to be number 8, right, centre, left, striker. Yes. That is how we are going to work that one out. We are then going to have a look at our left side. There's nobody for the left side, so that's a little unfortunate. And then we have nobody for the right hand side. So who do we have as striker options? Well, our backup striker ain't great. He's one for the future, 2 stars, 4.5 star potential, possibly 5, and that's Gula. Gula from the Gulag. He is an advanced forward, solid advanced forward in fact. I don't mind using him as a backup, so let's get him onto the bench. So as you can see, we are looking for right hand sided defender, left and right attacking mids. So what do we have in our youth system? Let's have a little look at our youth system. Current ability, nobody of great current ability. There's a few 2 stars from under and above. We have some players with some great potential. Now, any of them, are you a defensive right back? There's one. He's not great. I'm not promoting him. He's not good enough for the role we need. Now, attacking mid on the right hand side. This guy don't look too bad. Core, how would you do? Now, he ideally likes to be a striker. He can play on both wings though. So on this side, he would be an inverted forward. Inside forward even. I'm getting confused with an inverted winger. This is what he would look like, and he's pretty good. So he can cover the left hand side. Can he cover the right? That would be lovely. And he can. He's pretty good. So you know what? Core, you have been promoted, my friend. Come up to the senior squad. You can take your place alongside your teammates. Now, left hand side. Do we have any other options? No, we don't. We really don't. So we're just having Core coming up, I believe, from that squad. So we've promoted a youngster. We've encouraged some of that home development. And, well, we are going to go have a little look, see if we can get some free transfers who hopefully have enough aggression to break that 13 barrier, if not 15. We'll then also, of course, acquire some staff. So I'll see you fine folks after I've done that, probably after some of the friendly fixtures have been managed by our assistant, and I'll hopefully see you fine folks in just a second.